Hello. It's been a while since I've been on here. Um, the last 6 weeks have been definitely the deepest and darkest of probably my whole life. And I think that might be because they were also the softest. There was nothing hard about this time, it was very, very soft. I found I found about 2 months ago that I didn't like the way I was showing up in relationship, and I was seeing myself do certain behavior that I wasn't proud of. And I could see it. I could see the behavior. And I wasn't making anyone else responsible for it. But I'd hit a place where I could not hold myself. And so I had the opportunity to sit a 7-day silent meditation retreat a couple weeks ago. And I took it. And I invited myself to go all the way down into what was under that behavior, all the way down into my core wound, which even when I first got sober, I glanced at it, but I didn't really go all the way down into it. And so I cried and I cried and I grieved for the whole week, just sitting here in my house in silence, sitting zazen like 4 times a day, listening to Dharma talks, studying the Vimalakirti Sutra, sort of. Mostly it was just silence. Mostly it was just sobbing, grieving, going all the way down. I would find myself starting to cry, and you know how usually you want to stop that because it's so inconvenient. And also, where's the bottom of it? Where does it stop? Once you open that box, where's the bottom of the well? So 7 days later, I was still crying, and the next week, I was still crying. I needed a new car battery, and I found myself squatted down in aisle 4 of O'Reilly's crying. And at no point was I like, you should really shut it down now. This is a little bit excessive. And where is the bottom of this? That is the question that I kept asking myself. Where is the bottom of this? But I met that question not with resistance, but with reverence. Yes, it's very inconvenient to feel everything. It really is, especially when you need a new car battery. But I agreed to it. And once I agreed to it, there was no turning back. I made a very clear decision in myself that I am here to live fully and I'm here to serve fully. And I can't be a hypocrite only coming on here when I've fully processed something, when I've fully metabolized it and have some bit of wisdom for you. I am deep in not knowing right now. Deep, deep in not knowing. I don't know who's coming out the other side of this. I really don't. And I don't have to. Showing up the way I've been in my relationship has only made me more committed, not only to feeling everything, but to eating the blame. And I know this concept can make people really uncomfortable because sometimes people do behave horribly. Sometimes people do terrible things and they hurt you on purpose. So why in that case would you eat the blame? I don't know why you would do it, but I know why I would do it. Why I do it. Because it clears my plate. if I'm caught up in blame, if I'm caught up in thinking that the reason that I'm feeling something is outside of myself, the reason I'm suffering is outside of me, then how can it ever stop? If I eat the blame, I clear my system. I show myself how much I trust my own metabolism. And every time I eat the blame, I make my metabolism that much stronger. I'm that much less reliant on external validation. I'm that much less reliant on someone else's provision of safety to provide my trust. My trust is fundamentally, first and foremost, in myself. And when I eat the blame, I understand that I am held by all that is. Who needs it? It's just sitting there. Eat it. Don't let it get cold. Don't let it rot there on the plate, unattended to, because it will. Blame will rot. So if you're someone that has that thing under the dread you feel sometimes, or the anxiety, or the depression that you distract yourself from with Netflix or social media or whatever, because you're afraid that if you touch it, you will be totally swallowed up. And you will. If it's deep enough and dark enough and old enough, you will be fucking swallowed up. And then you will be spit out. And who knows who will be spit out? Who knows? Who knows who you are on the other side of it? But you're different, braver. I think we villainize going all the way down because it's very hard to do other things. It is very inconvenient. It's very inconvenient to grieve. We don't like it. We don't like to look at it. We don't like to do it. But it's like that thing you stick in the Tupperware in the back of the fridge and forget it's there. It rots. You pull it out and it's like unrecognizable except for the fact that it stinks. Unmet grief will infect your life in exactly that way. It is nothing to be afraid of. The idea that grieving is hard, or that sadness is hard, or that the darkness is hard to metabolize, it's not. It's all in how you meet it, just like anything else. How you do one thing is how you do everything. How you meet grief is how you meet joy. Are you willing to run the full range or not? Are you willing to be fully alive or not? Are you willing to be that brave? Jeanette Winterson wrote this line that has been with me for 25 years. What you risk reveals what you value. And I think what I've been risking lately definitely reveals what I value most: service, honesty, intimacy, love. What else is there really? You know, the deeper you go, the higher you go. Running the full range is deeply challenging. And I think it's so easy to get caught in just staying in the middle of the range, in that one little octave in the middle. But there's so much constriction in that. There's no need to constrict your life. We don't need tiny people living tiny lives. We have too much to do now. Be brave, be soft, be loving, and eat that blame. After a while, it's kind of delicious. Hmm. Thanks.